Page 23, close by. This lesson they're talking about chords in close position. Close position is where the notes are right close to where I'm at. I don't have to move the hand around too much. So it's like a C chord is here. If I want to go to an F chord here, I have to move. Well, to avoid that, I simply take this and put the C on the bottom. Because that way it's close by. I'm not moving much. That's close position. And they have a G7. Well, let's talk a G chord is here. A G7's adding one more. I talked about that briefly because we had an interval of a seventh. And there we're talking about between the bottom of the chord and that's the seventh. G7 or G chord. Well, if I want this close to here, I don't want to move much. What I do is I just put this G on top here. And I got these. So there, we're going here. Again, I'm not moving for it. So I can get those chords without moving around. I want to do the G7, which is used more. Generally, we do with G7. Is we'll take the G and put it on top here. Right here. Put the G on top. Because the C chord's here, I'm not moving around. Now on a G7, because it's got four notes, we don't need to play all the notes. We need the top and bottom, because that kind of defines the chord. We can have either one of the middle. Sometimes we do that, sometimes we do that. We don't do all four very often. Could, but we don't. So when I do this, put this on top, generally I leave that out. That way the C chord is here, to the G7. So I got here, got the F chord, and then the G7. We don't generally refer to them by chord names like this, but we'll get to the other part later. Just right now, just know that we can get all these chords without moving the hands around, and that's close position. Now, close by. Well, it's just the chords. The block chords first, C chords, then the F chords, C chords, G chord, not G7, G chord. To be a 7, we got to add the F, because that's the 7th. And the second line is broken chords, or arpeggiated. Okay, that's really all this is for you. Just get an idea of the idea of having the C, the F, and the G7 chord in close position. Whatever. That's what this is for. And we can do these chords in any key, but we'll just stick with C major for right now. So I would go through the process here, the whole process. Of course, when it's real simple, you can do multiple things at one time. See, I looked it over. It's 3 lines, treble bass clef, C major, 3/4 time signature, and I got chords. They're all chords. F chord, C chord, G chord, and I just kind of played through it. You can almost sight read it. That is, you can play it at sight, which means you sit down and you just read it. You don't practice it, you just play it. You perform it. Never played it before. Sight reading is a very important skill to have. It is a skill. The more you do it, the better you get. And generally, when you sight read music that is much easier than what you're working on. And you just try and play through it. You do all the steps in the process all at one time. You look it over and do all that stuff first, so that when you start playing, you can just add the dynamics and articulation and everything all at one time. Good luck. Sometimes when it gets a bit tricky, I'll just do one hand at a time. I'll just sight read one hand at a time. That works too. I don't have a lot to say here. It's moderately soft, a big deal. The idea here is just so you understand the close position of these chords. I want to talk about the last measure, the way they printed it. Say, what is going on in the last measure? You'll notice the bottom staff is empty. There's nothing there. But they got a dotted half note for the left hand here, and then they've got a whole rest, because when that box hangs below the line, it doesn't matter which line it's below. It's below a line, it is a whole rest, which means it lasts the whole measure. Well, I got a dotted half note in that measure. What's going on? Because they put both hands in the same staff. They're combining the staffs together at the end, because the bottom staff's empty. Because they did that, they have to show notes for both hands. You got two voices, one for each hand. Well, the left hand, the bottom voice, is playing the dotted half note. That lasts the whole measure. The right hand isn't playing anything. In other words, it's resting for a whole measure. So the dotted half note is for the left hand. The whole rest is for the right hand. It's showing the right hand is resting. And you got fermatas on them because you got to have a fermata in both voices so they stay together. So you're holding this one, so you have to hold the whole rest. You have to hold that too. So they both get a fermata. Doesn't really affect how you play it. You're just going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then you hold that and you're done after you're done. It's just technically speaking, they need the whole rest there to indicate the right hand needs to, otherwise the right hand, what happened to it? It just went away? That's not fair. No. And they put it under the top line because typically the rest would be in the middle space somewhere. But they put it in the top line because they want it above the C, because it refers to the right hand, which is above it. So they just hang the rest in the top line so it's understood that that is for the top voice. So you have a bottom voice and a top voice, and the bottom voice is playing the C. The top voice is the rest, so the rest has to be spaced above it. If they put the rest in the middle space where it belongs, it would be below the C, and that would indicate the bottom voice. And that doesn't make sense because the bottom voice is playing the C. So they put it that way. Just in case you were curious about it, and if you didn't notice and didn't care, you could have skipped all that. I should have said that first, shouldn't I? As far as the pedal goes, you're just overlapping this whole thing all the way through, like we have been in the past. So the notes first, then the pedal. And we're changing the pedal with the harmony. So when we go from a different chord, we change the pedal. With fermata, you just hold that out as long as it seems right. But do it with the metronome, I'll just double it and hold it 6 counts instead of 3. And that's basically the piece. I'd like to do this part at the bottom. It's the melody. This part you just did, that's accompaniment. So I'd like to do this part at the bottom. You can hear what it sounds like. So I'll give us 3 counts. However, to make it work, because the melody's in these notes. And so you can't be playing these notes because the melody's in this. Get out of the way. So I need you to go up 2 octaves. So just pretend that middle C on the piano instead of here goes up 1, 2 octaves. It's up here. So instead of here, you're up here. Play it all up here. I'll give us 3 counts. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. So put your hands up here and be ready to go. 1, ready, go. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Hold 2, 3.